Hi guys, this little video here, I'm just going to have a look at how we can create a flowchart for this particular exercise 1 here. So just to repeat the key parts of what this program does: ask the user for his or her name, ask the user to type some number in that's between 1 and 100, or we're going to, well, essentially the program's going to assume that the number being put in is between 1 and 100, and because there is no checking of that at the moment. And then what the program will simply do is use a while loop to run through all possible um, numbers starting at 1 until the program has found out what the user's number has or is. So we're going to do a little bit of a flow chart for this using this sort of structure on the left here, and what this video is just to look and see how we can do that. So here I've got a actual final result here. Let me just zoom up on that just a little bit more so we can see things a little better. Okay, so this is essentially how the end result will look, and I'm using a program called Visio, which should be available at school. It probably is not available on the programs you can download, so at home you can either do this by hand or use some other software if you prefer. Either way, I need you to send this to me. So if you're doing it by hand, you will need to take a little shot of this, perhaps with your smartphone, and then send me that shot. Or if you're using some other software, then you need to make sure that if you're using other software that you send me basically a screenshot of that, because I'm unlikely to have the program that you're using. So don't send me a file with some weird program you've downloaded from somewhere and I can't access it. Okay, so to produce this here, okay, what this is doing is once again getting the name, the user number, and setting a guess to be 0. Okay, this guess here, okay, we're going to start off basically saying, all right, let's assume that the guess is 0 and the user number, I know, let's say it was 23. So what we're going to do is use a while loop to say, well, while guess is not equal to the user number, okay, we're going to then basically add 1 to the guess, and then we'll check to see if guess is equal to, or not equal to, sorry, the user number. As long as the guess is not equal to the user number, we keep adding 1 to the guess. It's eventually guess will be the same as the user number. Has to inevitably be equal to that at some stage. When that happens, we can then print the message telling the user what his or her number was, and then finish off the program. Okay, so to produce that, okay, using this particular program here, what I'm going to do is just go to a new basic diagram. Now when you start off this program here, you end up with basic shapes. I'm going to go to Flowchart and basic flowchart shapes. Okay, and then we're going to drag onto here a start and double click on it to put text in it. So start there. I prefer to zoom up on this a little bit. So I'm going to go to perhaps 150. Okay, then we want to get a couple of bits of data in. So I'm going to get the user's name, and then I'm going to get the user's number. So get user's name, and I'm going to assign that to a variable called name. To get the arrow there, I just went hyphen, hyphen, or dash, dash, and then, not hyphen, hyphen, dash, dash, and then the right arrow key next to the left of the question mark. Okay, and that actually makes it into an arrow. Okay, so we've got that, and then I'm going to do the same. Get users number dash dash right pointing. It's actually the greater than symbol I should have said before. Okay, and that is going to be, I'm going to call that user number. Okay, want to join these boxes, so I'm going to go up to here where it's got insert. Can even do that on home here, but insert connector is another way of getting there, and we can simply drag those together. Click on that, connector again, join that, oops, wrong thing, connector. Okay, if they don't line up like that, well, I'm going to go back to home here, actually change back to the pointer tool and just line those up just so it looks a little tidier. Okay, so having got that, then we need to set guess to 0. That's the other thing I need to do. Actually, am I getting data or setting data? It's not really a process. I suppose it is data. So set guess equal to 0. Let's join those while I'm at it. Okay, now we need to make a decision. Just move the upper fraction. Okay, so a decision I need to make is guess the same as user number? Or not equal to, I should be saying, user number. Now, while the guess, because we are using a while loop here, and so actually I'm going to use the keyword while there. Otherwise we might start using an if statement here. So while guess is not equal to user number, we want to add 1 to the guess, and let me just join those boxes before I forget. Okay, so let's now do a little process here. Let me put that about here will do. Okay, and in this I want to add 1 to guess. So guess plus equals 1 will do. Or we could say guess equals guess plus 1. Okay, let's join these things. Connector. Okay, and while that's true, we're simply going to keep on adding 1 to guess until eventually the user number and the guess become the same. So I'm going to put a little piece of text on here to say that this is what happens when it's true. Okay, let's go back to the pointer tool, and now I need to grab another process thing. And something like print users or user number, and I'm simply going to put and suitable message. If you wanted to, you could put the message in here. So print hello name, your number was user number, if you wanted to. Okay, that would probably be a little better, but just for the interest of time, I'm just going to abbreviate that a little bit. Okay, so having done that, let's join these boxes, and then we are simply going to end. So let me go back to pointer, drag that over to there. Let's end the program and let's join those. Connector. Okay, so there we go. There's a very simple little flowchart for exercise 1. Or one last thing, should have put on here. If this is what happens when that is false. So while guess is not equal to user number, while that's true, we keep guessing. As soon as this is essentially the same guess and user number, this would be false. The fact that they're not equal. So we've got to branch out from that, saying, okay, so when this is false, which is the other possibility, okay, we come and we finish off the program having printed a suitable message. Alright guys, that's it, and what I'd like you to do, have a go at doing a flowchart for exercise 2.